So the first part of authentication is completed. The second part, which we were discussing about, is creating a PAT token. So when it comes to PAT token, you're just gonna click on settings, same your profile settings, developer settings. So personal access token. PAT token stands for personal access token. Recently, we got some new feature added, which is fine grain token, which we don't have to worry about. Let's go with the token as of now in the beginning. So clicking on generate personal access token, where you can name it as my token or learning demo. I'm gonna set the expiration. You can customize the expiration, or you can even mention for short term, short period, whichever anything works fine as per your requirement. And to whoever you are gonna provide this access key or the token, they are gonna get access to the same access policies, whatever you're gonna select here. So the first one is repository access, invite security events, public repos, repo deployments, repo status, and then workflows. This is something related to your GitHub actions. If you uncheck workflows while creating, let me show you guys. If you guys notice on the menu bar, we have an option called actions, which is available for me since I'm the owner of this entire account. If, for example, if I'm gonna give this pack token to Abu, in case if I'm not gonna select this workflow checkbox, he's not gonna have this actions option available for him. He won't even able to view it. But he can check the workflow files, which is gonna be there in the repository. Don't get confused. You don't have to worry about what is workflow is. I'll just explain you guys what is GitHub Actions, how it works. After completing Jenkins, because I don't want to screw up the basic thing. Let's discuss about Jenkins and then we'll come back to GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions is actually a latest CI/CD tool which provides a number of options, an easy way to maintain and manage the infra. It's actually easier than Jenkins, but let's go with the toughest one. And then writing packages, deleting packages, admin to organization, read, write, access, manage access, public keys, again, read, write, repo hook, webhook. When it says hook, it means webhook. We'll discuss that in the upcoming sessions. Organization hook, gift. Uh, Not sure on this. Maybe I'll check and I'll practice myself and I'll let you know. See, most of the time you're not going to use all the options available in a particular tool. And honestly, you're not going to use all the commands. Repeatedly, you're going to work on something. It completely depends upon the team to team. If you're getting to any kind of platform team or you're responsible for a platform, you're responsible for applications which has been used by multiple developers, then you have to worry about managing these infrastructures. If you work with developers directly for their development activities, you're going to maintain their pipelines and stuffs like that. And then notification, user details, delete permission, important one. And then audit log. You can view the log, GitHub Copilot and code base. Code base is like to create a secret related thing, full control on the code. And then code pilot, GitHub Copilot, not a code pilot. GitHub Copilot is another important topic which was very recently added to GitHub feature. That's like a fresh option, very recent option added to the GitHub repository. And even we were spending some time, we invested some time to do research on this, how we can implement it in the current project where I am currently working on as a data ops. It's a kind of AI feature. If you define some kind of a requirement, it's just gonna stick to it. It's gonna follow the same instructions repeatedly. Kind of pre-checks we can do, or we do have other options. I'll see if I can get you guys some information about Copilot. I was not added this to the syllabus which I designed, but let me see if I can share some, at least a little bit idea about Copilot. And then project details, GPG keys, the same SSH keys what we added for authentication and sign in. So I'm gonna click on all. So this is the path token which we created, and let me save it on my notepad. It is available, and then so for SSH creation, we used two different commands. One is SSH hyphen triple V, and then git at the rate github.com. Finally, yes. Sorry, it's actually SSH. And then we used SSH keygen hyphen T 25519 hyphen C followed by email address of the repo. And for path token creation, what is the command we are going to follow? What is the command we are going to set up to our local? Anyhow, we already generated the path token on the UI. So we need to map the token to your local where you are using a GitHub CLI or Git install and using it. So the command is git remote set hyphen URL origin HTTPS and then token at the rate github.com slash your username slash followed by repo. So in our case, it is set hyphen URL origin HTTPS colon. Let me copy the path token which I created. Token at the rate of github.com slash Either I can type the username and repository name manually, or I can just come here, setting. If I open the repository from the URL, I'm gonna get this. So let me copy that and then paste it here. So this is the command which we need to execute on the local. If I hit enter, it has just been added to your local repository. So the command exact meaning is you are just setting up the token from remote repository to your local machine or local repository. It is something similar to what Abu Tahir said in the last week when we were discussing about the authentication part.